eyeballing y'all. I'm sorry. Now we're gonna a topic we talked about 2 weeks ago is school worth it?
Is school worth it?
Now we're gonna let you. I give my answer. I said I think it
Everybody knows what I
depends.
said.
He gave his answer, and he is a recipient of a degree from University of Central Florida. I'm a recipient of a degree from OC Tech. We're gonna let Gerald give his opinion.
Okay. Well, I got my degree from South Carolina State in mechanical engineering technology. I really don't. At this point in my life, after going to school for some years, and graduating, and just being in business for a while, I'm just realizing that college is not necessarily worth it, man. I mean, if you have a passion in something that you enjoy, something that you enjoy doing, I think you should go after that, man. College is another expense, another bill that is not necessarily worth it. I mean, you look at all the entertainers and hairstylists and people that necessarily didn't have to go to college to attain the level of success that they have, and it's it's something that I think the world has a mixed illusion about going to college, but just because of the way they train us and the way they groom us coming up, like, oh, you have to go to college, but
It's not a necessity.
definitely
For
not
sure.
a necessity. Definitely not a necessity. It's so crazy because I had this talk with my daughters a couple of weeks ago about running a successful business and not necessarily going to college. Of course, I'm trying to take the cheap way out because
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for college, but
I know what you want to do.
right,
Yep,
or
yep.
just knowing what you want to do in general. I mean, especially nowadays with the information that colleges give you is so obtainable with the internet and
Oh,
different tools and things like that.
Yep.
So you can get the same information and knowledge off the internet that you get from college. Every
free.
book they give you, every book you got to pay for is on the internet, and
That's
you can
right.
just buy it yourself and read and study it yourself.
That's coming from a man. But see, you guys have degrees that I think make sense. You're mechanical engineering. That is you had a degree for a what's wrong with you? Like would it be a concentrated degree? Like your degree
Psychology,
like your degree correlates straight to your job.
right?
Your degree correlates straight to your job. I think when you start getting degrees like I went to school for business. Well, I got my associate business just for working purposes. Just because I know that the place I work for, they look, I guess, happily upon it. I don't know what I'm going to use. But, like, if I just want to open my own business, I don't think I should go to school for business.
Not necessarily.
If I want to be, I think your degree should match what your profession is. If you're going to run a nonprofit, I think you should just take nonprofit classes, not get a degree in. I'm pretty sure they got a bachelor's in nonprofit organization.
Yeah, it's probably business.
It'd be business under that. And
Yeah.
I think you can YouTube that. You probably could just straight up YouTube it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
probably could.
I'm gonna tell you what college does, man. College, your degree from a college, any college, gives lets employers know that you have the ability to learn.
Yep.
That's all it does.
Which is the work keys now.
Right. And that's all it does is say this person has the ability to learn
Oh, yeah.
this information,
Yep.
and that's all it does.
There's some other things too, though. So last time we were talking about that whole thing, and I read something in Forbes about people who go to Ivy League schools versus just a traditional state college or whatever it may be. And the one thing that they said, and this was for Ivy League specifically, but I think it's in every school, you can build connections in college.
Right.
Whereas sometimes it is a struggle to get into a certain, area of work without having a connection.
That's
Right.
true.
I mean, if you don't know someone or if you don't know how to get in contact with them, I don't know if you've ever had to apply on LinkedIn
yeah.
or Indeed or stuff like that. There's no direct contact, right? You're sending an email to somebody and praying and hoping that their recruitment side, like, oh, I see this guy, let me forward it to the hiring manager, and maybe they'll like it.
Yeah.
But if you had direct access, right, like a job fair hosted at your school or a job fair in your state or something like that, right? I think some schools, they'll allow you to connect better with other people. And even like as an entrepreneur, right? Like you might come across a lot of these great people come across the person that they do business with in school, right?
Right.
I mean, just like a big example would be Microsoft. Paul Allen and Bill Gates,
Bill
right?
Gates,
They were
right.
in college together. They dropped out together. They started their
They
business.
was in
together.
high school together.
They were in high school together, right?
Right.
So, and I don't know about too many people in college that met each other in college and did it, but I mean, maybe the Mark Zuckerberg thing, I never really understood if you knew those guys beforehand or not. But even just the one I was telling you about, man, remember Jet.com?
Yep.
The one I was telling you about? So this guy, I forgot his name, but he's a CEO for Jet.com, and he sold his company to Walmart, right? He was also the CEO and creator of Quidsy. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Quidsy or not. They sell diapers and things online for people who don't want to go to the store.
Right.
Well, he sold Quidsy to Amazon, and he kind of felt bad after he sold it. But the thing to take away from it is he started all those companies with people he knew from back in the day, right? When he's like, man, I guess they were already successful perhaps, or maybe they just wanted to do something on the side.
Right.
But that's something you can meet people, and something college can bring along.
That's true.
Right.
That's definitely true.
And it can bring you to people with different skill sets, right? Because your general education courses, they tend to be with other students in other degrees, or different degrees, I guess.
Right.
So, I mean, it's good and bad. You don't need it. Definitely don't need it. It's not like I need it. No.
Right.
You might maybe you go take a class or two at your
I'll be
local.
honest, I never thought about it like that as far as networking goes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You do network.
That's what it is.
Yep.
You network with so many people in college. I mean, and from different areas, different places.
Yep.
I mean, I never thought about that.
That's what
And that's the
a
same
good
thing in that
point.
Forbes article. I was like, dang, he's right.
Yeah.
That's what Facebook was for years. It was only a networking within. You had to be at a college.
Yep.
And you can only network with that college at first.
Yeah, it was like you and students from your school, and it would be a network for you guys, like outside. Like it would be like an alumni program. Like I don't know. Apparently UCF has some alumni program somewhere in Columbia. I could go join or whatever, and it would just be grads from UCF, right? And maybe they're hiring, and you're looking for a job. Bam, they'll give you a job because you hang out with them. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure SC State has it. Like if you go look around, they probably have an alumni group, right?
Yeah.
Because not everyone stays where they went to school.
Right.
Right. Obviously, I'm here from Florida. And
It's one in every state, and you see him at the homecoming parade, like SC State alum from Pennsylvania, SC State alum from California, and we talking about businesses. You got a mechanical engineering,
right?
But that didn't stop you from opening them and running a business, which is.
I am currently the co-owner of Cloud9, 1664 Russell Street, downtown Orangeburg.
come out.
Hookah Lounge and Bistro.
You got great food.
Yeah, the food is definitely great. And, for the most part, I was raised with the entrepreneurial spirit. My uncle, when I was young, my uncle would take me out with him to work almost every weekend, getting up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I think that's where I learned that business, entrepreneurial mindset. And he always told me, and it stuck with me to this day, that, if you ever do anything, you want to own it yourself. You want to be in business with yourself, and you want to own it yourself. So that kind of stuck with me throughout the years, man. And big shout out to my partners, man, Aaron Gillespie and Dean Gillespie, the Gillespie brothers, man. We've been friends, grew up together. And, And we just got together and decided to make this thing happen, man. I think it's a big misconception for minorities to think that they can't own businesses, and it's actually not as hard as you guys think it is. You just gotta want to do it and put your mindset together and understand that it's a grind.
Motivation.
And you do have to grind to get it.
Yep.
See, that's part of the trick, I think. Is make them think it's hard. We're talking about house buying. It's a lot of work, but in the end, what is worth work? What is this is worth it? The thing I like about seeing you and Fuzz, I don't know Aaron Brothers that. I'm not even fake the funk like I know Fuzz brother. I don't know him, but I'm glad he's in it.
Right.
When you see, it's one thing. See, I know you, Gerald, and if me seeing you do it, it's a different kind of motivation from some guys from out of town. I don't know where they got their money from. I don't know what they're doing. But to see guys I know who are just hardworking guys who put the time in and running something like, well, you know what? That's motivation. And it makes you want to support. I don't get to support as much as I would like to because I have my children a lot. But, if something was to come up where I was able to bring, my my younger ones, I'm there, but I just like to see that, especially in Orangeburg, we are a large reflection of the population,
Okay.
and I think the owners of business should reflect that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think we should reflect it, and I like you guys doing that. Cloud9.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Listen, man, if y'all guys see me in the street, anywhere, in the grocery store, and y'all want any information about business, anything that I've done, I've always been taught, each one teach one. So if y'all want to know anything, y'all stop me, y'all ask me. I have people do it all the time. Sit down, I'll tell you everything I know, everything I've learned, and I'm not, shy about it. So whatever y'all guys want to know, if I can help y'all out, man, y'all let me know.
See, and I love that.
Yep.
Cloud9, check it out. Keep looking. I'm pretty sure we'll end up tagging the Does that have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah. Look, I'm pretty sure we'll end up tagging the Cloud9 inside of our in our captions, so you'll be able to tag it and see what it's about. If not, I'm pretty sure Gerald or Fuzz will make sure it's in there in the comments, so you guys can see and click on it and see what it's about. It's a grown spot. That's what I like about it. Couple times me and my old lady went. It's a grown spot.
There you go.
It's not a spot for. And I hate to be disrespectful to certain age group. It's not young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I go, I don't go out for the same reason as a 21-year-old goes out.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
Yep.
So, hey, I'm glad we Cloud9, and we're gonna wrap it up with